From the Erie County Fieldhouse, it's the Erie Blades versus the Soviet Olympic Nationals. Paul Brown for WQLN Television Sports, along with Bill Shelley, who will supply the play-by-play, and Mike Erie will join us tonight. Mike, a former hockey player and coach, will insert his observations. We'd like to welcome aboard, although it's quite tentative as to which Pennsylvania stations will be airing this at a later date. It is possible that fans in the Allentown, Bethlehem area over the facilities of WLVT and WITF in Hershey, Pennsylvania, along with the possibility of WQED in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, carrying this delayed hockey tape telecast. If so, we welcome all those area fans aboard. And indeed, this gives us a chance to reciprocate with WLVT for the constant supply of Lehigh wrestling programs they offer to WQLN, which we air on Saturday nights. Well, Bill Shelley, Mike Erie. Bill, I know you were here this morning. I watched the Soviet team practice. What I saw was discipline, very sequential arrangement, very orderly, and not much levity. It seemed to be all business to me.
Well, that's what they're here for. This is, of course, one of two games before they are going to go on to the Olympics. The other one will be against the U.S. Olympic team itself, and that will be played in New York. So to have them here is quite a coup for the Blades. And, of course, I don't think there's ever been a sporting event in Erie history, probably, that has been more on the news pages than on the sports pages than this one here. But nonetheless, it makes its way into the sports scene tonight. And we are going to see, as Mike will point out to you, a team that skates extremely well. Many people say the best skaters in the world, at least at the hockey skaters in the world. A lot of long passing, very crisp passing. And Mike, one of the things at the outset that fans will notice is the fact that you can forget those two little red lines out there tonight. They aren't going to mean much, are they?
The center red line's gone. You'll see some long passing plays. You're in for a treat if you like hockey, because you'll see the Russians skate, and pass the puck around with precision. And I'm sure you're just in for a real treat, as I say.
Before we go on down to John Delacamera for the intros, we'd like to thank Dave Gifford, General Manager, WLKK. They, of course, own exclusive broadcast rights, so we had to get permission from Dave and WLKK. And to all the help given us by John Paul Delacamera, the voice of the Blades, and Communications Director for the Erie Blades. And to Nick Polano, General Manager and Coach, and to his lovely wife, Elba Polano, who has been so helpful with the arrangements, because we made the arrangements on a very delayed and latent basis. Let's now then go down to the ice and John Paul Delacamera.
The voice of the Erie Blades, John Paul Delacamera.
Thank you, Bill Lacey. Welcome, everyone, to the 1980 Hockey Spectacular. For the touring Soviet national team, in goal wearing number 1 will be Vladimir Mushkin. On defense, wearing number 2, Vyacheslav Fedosov. Wearing number 3 on defense, Vladimir Luchenko. Number 4 on defense, Sergei Babinov. Wearing number 6, Valery Vasiliev. Number 7, Alexei Kasatonov. Number 8 at forward, Sergei Kapustin. Number 9, Vladimir Krutov. Wearing number 10, Alexander Maltsev. Number 11, Yuri Lebedev. Wearing number 12, Sergei Starikov. Number 13, Boris Mikhailov. Number 16, Vladimir Petrov. 17, Valery Kalomov. Number 19 is Helmut Valderas. Number 20, Vladislav Tretiak. Number 22, Viktor Zlukov. Wearing 23, Alexander Golikov. Number 24, Sergei Makarov. 25, Vladimir Golikov. Wearing 26, Alexander Skvotsov, and number 28, Mikhail Varnikov. And the head coach for the touring Russian team is Viktor Tikhonov. And now we welcome your Erie Blades. Number 4, Danielle Furlan. Number 5, Clark Hamilton. Number 7, Sylvain Cote. Wearing number 8, Steve Stockman. Number 9, Stan Gullitzen. Number 10 is Brad Reiner. Number 12, Jimmy Cowell. 14, Val James. 15, Dave Lundeen. Number 17, Ron Hansis. Wearing 18, Bruce Lynn. 19, Dave Dornside. Number 20, Paul Shear. Number 30 is Norm LaPointe. The head coach of the Erie Blades is Nick Polano. Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary before each international game, there will be a ceremony with the flags of both the Russian and American countries. That will be followed by the Russian anthem as well as the American anthem. Right now we're going to ask the players for assistance in displaying the American and Russian flags. We'll go first with the Russian anthem, as is customary, followed by the American anthem as sung by Jim Anderson. You all sang that very well. Nice to hear it. The final thing before the game gets started, again, it's customary that players from both teams exchange small token gifts. And as soon as they are done with that, the 1980 Hockey Spectacular will begin. Thank you all for coming and enjoy the game.
Well, now the exchange of gifts, as John Paul Delacamera indicated. I suspect that John Paul, in preparation for his live play-by-play coverage on WLKK, and in fact, Bill Shelley might have spent an appreciable amount of time at some quiet part of the house going over and over and over the names of the Soviet roster.
That's right, and now we can find out how wrong we are, I guess, is the way of looking at it, because certainly you look at these names, and the only thing I'm certain of is most of them end in OV. But I know a couple of them. I know Mikhailov, and I know Harlamov, because those are guys that Mike Gary knows have done an awful lot of spectacular playing on the international scene. Tretiak, they say, as many people have thought, was one of the finest goalies ever to play the game. But now they say young Mishkin might even be better.
Tetriak has been there for a number of years and has been, as you say, world class as far as goaltenders go in ice hockey. But again, agreeing with what you say, Bill, I understand that the young fellow Mishkin is supposedly just as good or maybe a little better.
We'll see which one goes to the nets. Right now we saw it looks like Norm LaPointe is the man that Nick Polano has chosen to be his goaltender tonight. He wasn't certain whether it was going to be LaPointe or Mark Evans.
Michigan is going for the Russians.
So it's going to be Michigan, who wears number 1. And the Blades getting set. Now, I talked with Nick Polano beforehand. You see Nick on the screen right there. And the referee is Jean Chantrel.
Right.
And so there was some discussion with some people I had. They said, well, the Russians often bring a referee along for some of their international matches. They alternate. One match you'll find a referee from North America, and another one you find a Russian referee. But tonight's case, obviously, Jean Chantrel, I think, comes from north of the border.
Yeah, he's a Canadian by birth, and he's been refereeing in the Northeastern League and the Eastern League now, and before that the North American League, and has had a long career as a college official. So
there you hear the boos that are customary whenever the referee is introduced. Mike was, of course, head of the officials in the Northeastern Hockey League, so he knows these guys very, very well. And, Mike, speaking of the kind of game, do you think we're going to see a lot of trips to the penalty box tonight or not?
My guess would be no. I think you're going to see a fast skating, crisp passing type game, a very enjoyable game to watch. A very enjoyable game to watch.
And I talked with Nick Polano, as I said, and he told me the Blades will probably be playing a lot of zone defenses. They don't feel that they can, of course, match the Russian skating speed. Man for man, they figure they'll get lost in a lot of crossing passes. And we'll see just exactly what happens because the Soviets are moving on the attack very quickly here. Now remember, the red line not in effect, and you can see what might look like offsides to you, and you'll see the Russians coming down and making a lot of passes very much ahead. But you see the Blades intercepting there in the person of Ron Hanses. As we get back here.
Looks like we have an offside here. I didn't see the call, but
okay,
that's apparently what it is.
So we're going to have a face-off, and skating to the picture is Vladimir Petrov, number 16. In the Blades end of the ice. The face-off with Dave Lundin. And controlling Daniel Polan, a man that the Blades fans like to see get that puck an awful lot because he's their leading scorer. Coming right down now is Ron Hanses, and the play whistled down again. So we're getting a very slow start on this one, feeling it out. Of course, the Blades are hampered by the fact that they don't play under international hockey rules, Mike, so I would imagine that's going to hamper them certainly at the start of the game.
That'll hamper them a great deal. You'll see, I would assume you'll see the Russians break maybe to the opposite blue line for the long pass, where the Blades, from through experience, will try to slow up until the puck gets to that red line or over it.
And there the puck went into somebody's pocket, as you can see there, or tucking it in his shirt, as the case may be, as it was flipped out of the end of the rink. And we're coming back out. Remember, this game just getting underway, and one thing that does not change, they still play the same length of time. That is 3 20-minute periods. As the face-off occurs between Lundin and Petrov again. Coming down that way, Daniel Polan chasing it down. Ron Hansen's trying to get it out there, and the skidder down just a little ahead of Dave Lundin. As long shot skipping away there, slap shot type, skipping up into the crowd.
Fans just saw, getting back to the lack of a red line, the Russian player took the puck over his defensive blue line and then fired it into the zone. Now that would, under pro rules, would be icing because he fired the puck in from his defensive end of the ice, but the red line is out of play, so anything over the blue line can be fired in.
22 is Zluptov. He tries to the puck into coming out of the boards, and skating through the crowd and coming down and bringing the crowd to the feet is Stan Gulletson. He's the guy with the beard and the wiry hair, the hair that flows all over the place, who declines the use of a helmet. And Hans is trying to scoop it away, but the Russians controlling. Momentarily controlled, but back into possession of the Soviet team. You notice they make long passes as they come down. That is Zluptov trying to control things. And pushed back the other way, and out of, as so far the Blades have been able to play that zone defense and just simply come back there and deny the Russians the puck. Trying to pick it up here possibly. And they're bouncing off Mishkin. The first shot, Gulletson's shot, Unsuccessful. No score in this game here. Just getting underway. Just inside 18 minutes.
Well, it looks like right now Nick's strategy is when the Russians get the puck in their own zone, he's sending in one forechecker, and the other two forwards are peeling back into the neutral zone with the two defensemen.
Vladimir Golikov is the man who is going to get in there now and face off with Steve Stockman, number 8, Golikov, number 25. There are 2 Golikovs on this team. And going over, Sylvain Cote loses control of it. Back down the other way, Poland tries to get it, does not. Fight for it. And Bevanov picks it up for the Soviets. And back down, sliding it over to Vasilyev. And there you see Mark Jackson, number 2. But back the other way, and Bevanov again. Sliding it off to Makarov. Coming over to the left side is Golikov. So far, the Soviets really haven't organized their attack. There's a quick flip, evident. Knocked away. And back down the other way we go. It's coming through the crowd of Stockman. Knocked away. And out the other way. Poland captures it. Blades trying to open it up very clearly. But here we come the other way, and Golikov coming down with a puck. Good skating there. And a flip. Knocked away. Knocked in.
Yep, goal.
And it's a goal. Looked for a moment like Lapointe might be able to get it, but the rebound banged home, and we'll see exactly who got it. So it's 1-0 the Russian team. And we're going to go to a replay of this one.
There it is.
Okay, as we see them setting the play up back here. Coming down, the long pass. And there you see they might move or through everybody. Flipping it back in there, knocked away for the moment, and then just banged right in.
They threw the puck out to the man in the slot. He fired it in. There was a rebound, and they put it home.
Sergei Makarov is the guy who gets credit after Golikov set him up. The Russians use 4 lines, and Lebedev is the center on this one, number 11. Golikov gets credit for the assist on the line, that first goal. And in the exchange coming through, Dave Lundin. Let the Soviets control. And again, that fast skating brings the crowd to the feet. Good defensive work that time. A gambling try, as Lapointe was pretty far out. Russians trying to get it organized here, and Lebedev is the guy trying to do it. Losing control momentarily. But you notice how quickly they recover. They come right back on that puck. They're trying to get organized in their own end and get the play flowing. Knocking it away. Coming in. Paul Sheard out there now. As the Soviets control in the Blades' end, and there's the slap shot from the line. Knocked away. They don't mind taking long-range shots very obviously. That's the mark of a confident team.
Penalty coming.
Looks like we have one coming here. What are we going to get, Mike?
Looks like a hooking penalty.
Okay, first penalty of the match, and you see Sean Trill coming over there to indicate
I
same.
believe number 11, which is Lebedev.
Lebedev. So Yuri Lebedev picks up 2 minutes. And for the next 2 minutes, the Russians will be playing shorthanded. See if the Blades can get a power play going. They're lined in there trying to do same. Trying to set it up, but unsuccessfully there. Brad Reines out there trying to get the puck away. See the Blades try to work it down the other way now after trying to set it up. And of course the penalty killers out there for the Soviets. And right now they're scooting it away. Luchenka is the guy who does it. Gets it up very quickly to Maltsev. He loses control. The Blades' Bruce Lynn trying to set something up. Sliding the puck over. But lost again.
Well, even in a short-handed situation, you can see they've got a forward hanging out there at the red line.
Yeah, they're, as I said before, a little confident team there,
Yeah,
and they certainly act like a team that will ignore what many people will think is the obvious situation. But this time the Blades are coming in there and trying, but kicked away. And yes, he knows a man hanging right out there on the side. Over, he's checked into the boards, and the puck flipped down the other way though. The penalty just about out as Polan's pass is a little too far. Reaching out and able to get a little bit of it was Jim Cowell, but not too much. Back down the other way goes Vasilev. And finally it's captured by Cote. Here they come on what might be the final rush. And wham!
Good hit.
Good, solid check for those who don't think the Russians check, huh?
The penalty's over.
And now we're even, full strength again. And so they were able to successfully kill that penalty. The score remains the Soviets 1, the Blades nothing. And you're getting action, and hectic action it is at the Russians' end of the rink as Daniel Polan finally captures it. Tries to take it up ice through the crowd. Doing a pretty good job of it too right now, but down he goes as he's ridden off by Babinov. And the whistle. So the play continues to be dominated by the Soviets, even though the Blades certainly had their opportunity. And I think, Mike, there's going to be where they have to say, come on, we just got to come out and play hockey now.
Yeah, they got to do some, they got to retaliate and skate with them if they're able to. Face-off goes outside the zone because Poulin caused the puck to be frozen in the boards when he fell down on it.
This Saturday night, WQLN fans will be treated to wrestling Lehigh versus Springfield at 11 o'clock. And then a week later, February 16th at 11 p.m., Lehigh versus Army.
Vedikov and Lundin. And coming on in.
The boy
Just
came
like
right
that.
out and challenged him that time, Bill.
He certainly did. He came right out there and tried to cut down the angle the way a goalie is supposed to do it. But there's been a lot of breakaway attempts so far tonight.
I think what's happening is a couple of the Blades defenders are not following Nick's strategy and are trying to hold the puck in the zone a little too much, and they're getting beat at their own blue, or at the Russians' blue line, giving the Russians an extra man break coming out of the zone.
They pick up a lot of loose pucks, but right now the puck is controlled by Val James. Picking it off to Gulitson. Coming down, but nice defensive work by Sergei Babinov, who played that extremely well. And back to the attack go the Russians and Golikov.
Passing's amazing.
It is. It's cross ice passing so well. They lay it right on that stick every time. Watch that. And there's a slap shot from outside, but too much traffic in front of that one. And it never really got close. But they've got it up there again, but kicked away. And coming down fast, Paul Scheer, but not quite fast enough. And skating back there, Luchenka picks it up, and the Soviets move back to the attack. From the wing. No, and again, Lapointe goes down to stop a shot from the point.
Lapointe's playing pretty well in there, I'll say that.
He's getting pressure early, and he's responding to it. One thing, Mike, and there are so many guys moving that puck around so much in front of them, it's easy for a goalie to get lost in those passes.
Yeah, they moved the puck around pretty well. The only goal was on a rebound. He didn't really have much of a chance on that one. So
no, he was on the ice when that one went
through. He's hanging in there pretty well.
Zluptov, number 22, in for the face-off. And the Blades trying to control it their end, but the Soviets have that puck again, and slapping it up there was Starikov.
A deflection off a Blades stick, so the face-off will remain in the Blades defensive zone,
where they have been for most of this first period, which has just got a little over 11 minutes. 11 minutes 5 seconds exactly remaining in the first period, as once again Zlutov steps in for the face-off. And let's see, it's the Russians coming up with a puck. At least momentarily, then kicked down the other way. And their defensive men skating very quickly back to pick it up. Laying it out there on Balderas.
See the 26 break in the middle. Good hit.
Oh, solid hit up.
Mark Jackson.
To the red line, and nothing indicated. Fedosov picks up the puck. But kicked by him and down the other way. Try as Lynn came in for the moment. Looked like he had a possible opportunity, but it goes back the other way, and Polan playing back at Mark Jackson on defense now. Collecting the puck, and the Soviets drop off. As it fast action in there, and it results in nothing at all. So the Russians again sort of hounding around that puck if they can do it, but now they'll draw it back. Flipped all the way up there, and there's the whistle.
That's an icing call.
So
Mark Jackson throwing his weight around there pretty good. Billy laid a couple of good checks on the Russian players.
He did. And there you see Steve Stockman coming in and consulting with the official. There's something, I don't know, Mike, maybe you can explain what it is that they're unhappy about.
The Blades are saying that it shouldn't have been an icing call, that he was over his own blue line when he shot at the length of the ice. I don't think they're going to win the argument, though. Although, to be honest with you, from up here, I thought he was all right, too, when he shot it.
They don't win the argument, though.
No.
And there we see Lebedev stepping in for the face-off. So coming back the other way, though, and nice check into the boards there. Riding him off the puck and down in the corner and digging it out, though. The Russians will come back the other way. Mutsev. And there's a whistle as Mutsev comes up. Side. 1-0. The Russians lead just past the midway point in the first period. They got a rebound goal, and that's the way it's been.
For those who might be watching this for the first time, an offside occurs when an offensive player precedes the puck into the offensive zone.
As the puck goes skipping away, and Polan goes over to the corner, but Lebedev is the guy who comes out with it.
Fandom.
Back the other way. There's Gulletson trying to pick it up. Checked into the boards. Tight battle down in there with Cote trying to come up with it. Instead, it is picked up by Starikov. And another whistle. So far, Mike, is this what you've been expected of this Russian team?
Pretty much, Bill. I'm getting confused here. We were instructed that they were playing international rules and not using a red line. I'm not sure, but they called another icing call, and going by pro rules, yeah, that would have been icing, but it looked all right to me if, in fact, they are playing international rules. The Blades are questioning again over there.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to get it straight. Maybe they didn't tell the officials they were playing international rules, or maybe they just forced a habit. They called it. We'll see. Lebedev getting set to step in there. We're going to have the face-off, though. And the Blades control. Hey, breaking down on the right side, Stockman. Being ridden off, though, on a great defensive move by Starikov. And very quickly, back the other way come the Soviets in the person of Krutov. And firing it up there.
Just a pretty play. Boy, they just threw that puck around, and the man came in the slot, and the puck was on his stick and in the net.
So far, Norm LaPointe has been the star for the Blades very definitely, because the pressure has been on Norm, and he has been checking that putt all the way.
Right.
And there you see 2-0 to score.
A replay, I think.
No, we're going to get a replay now, that one. And here he comes. and putting the pressure on, and that time, not much you can do about that one when you're out of the net, huh?
Not at all.
Lebedev is the man who scores the goal, and it's now 2-0. Krutov got the assist, one of the assists, and there you see the Soviets trying to pick it up there. Looks changed, but nothing called.
To be honest with you, Bill, there's a little more physical play than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, perhaps the Blades are getting over and saying, well, we got to come out there and start hitting, and the Russians are banging away right back. They're used to playing internationally against some mighty tough guys.
The Russians will hit too.
They play with the National Hockey League, and you don't play National Hockey League guys and not feel a little physical violence every now and then. And so to think that these guys just sort of skate around and never see another body on the other side is a little bit misleading, very obviously. You see that now.
Well, they're very capable of playing a body.
Mikhailov is one of the guys out there now, and he is really some kind of a shooter, and I say it, and you see it. That puck was fired.
Yeah, that was fired.
And we're going to get a replay of that one.
Looked like LaPointe kind of lost it there at the last minute. I don't know.
It looked like he might have been screened out. We won't be able to pick it up in the replay.
There it is.
Now we're going to come back, and you see it slid down there. And you see him start over on the point. And then just wind up and bang. And I don't see anybody screening him, really.
No, it looked like he got a piece of it. Just went in off his body. It was a heck of a shot.
Right off there. So, 3-0. And the Soviets are asserting themselves. 7:30 the time left to play, first period. And they've already built up a substantial lead as we get set for the face-off with Golikov. There, and Brad Reines out there against him, number 10.
Soviet goal scored by number 16, Vladimir Petrov.
Petrov is the guy who gets credited for the goal.
Assisting number 17, Valery Karmelov. And number 4, Sergei Babanov.
That was a heck of a save.
Yeah, it was a beauty.
Man in the slot again. They keep the man gets free in the slot from about 20 feet away, and they're getting the puck to him, and he's firing.
Moving him up there, and of course, when you play this free skating game like this, there are plenty of opportunities around there that might otherwise not occur. And I would imagine Nick is going to talk about that when they take the break at the end of the first
Nick's going to
period.
have to talk to him because they're losing a man all the time. The man seems free in the slot all the time.
And they are around every loose puck, you'll notice, too.
That's for sure.
And down goes the Russian, and banged outside there as picked up finally by Fedosov. And it looks like it's getting a bit more physical at this moment.
Yeah.
And maybe the Blades have decided that they're going to have to do something, as digging in there is Dave Dornside. And you see some people hitting the ice where we did not previously. Fedosov, however, digs it out. And then they're trying to slide a man in there again. So they go to the wing. And there goes Norm down again. So just when they get everybody thinking, I guess, that they're going to come into the usual pattern, they just flip it out there to the side and take it in that way. And
they're definitely dominating at this point, and it's to be expected. They're class.
Zluktov, number 22. Coming through, Poland tries to knock it away and does so. Now the Blades trying to get it out. They've been in their end of the ice for a long time.
Yeah.
And then Poland getting tangled up out there. And a check.
Call on Poulin, I believe.
I believe so. He probably more unintentional, wouldn't you say, than anything else? He's, well, or else frustration.
It looks like holding is the call.
Yeah, he just sort of got tangled up with his man there.
Now the man was in the slot, and he latched onto him pretty well.
So they're waiting for the penalty to come up here.
Excuse me, they call it double penalty. They call it double penalty here.
Well, they were both kind of wheeling around there.
Yeah.
And we might have each side wind up a man short here. Skvotsov is getting 2 minutes for holding. As is Polan, and so they'll both check off the ice for 2 minutes.
Must have been dancing, double holding.
Yeah. Momentary delay here. Dornseif coming in and then skating out. Zluktov getting set down to face off. So each side playing a man short for the next 2 minutes. As we come down to the waning moments of the first period here, the Russians out in front 3-0. Keep banging away. Yeah, Norm LaPointe.
Norm said that's enough of that.
Yeah, he goes out there in that belly. He's been spending a lot of time down. Look at the front of his shirt. You can tell how much time he's been standing on the ice tonight.
Get him a new shirt and some new pads, I think.
So there's Lukov in there again. He and Dorney been facing off a lot.
He's a pretty big boy, the number 22.
That's one thing I noticed about this Russian team. They are a very large bunch of guys.
Yeah. He is exceptionally large.
Now working around. Lukov coming in on it. Could have backhanded out there and cannot do so. And here come the Blades finally trying to get something started here. And they haven't had anything going in a long time as Bruce Lynn came up on the puck, but wasn't successful. So for the first time in quite a while, we see the Russians playing with it in their own end of the ice.
That's for sure.
Now they come out, though. They waste absolutely no time. Look at that pass just a little beyond there. As reaching out for it was Balderas. Couldn't quite get it. Most of their passes are a bit more crisp than that. As Luchenko now, number 3. Back playing defense. Lays it on Balderas. Coming through 2 people, and they won't go there. Back out the other way. And just gets it over to that man, and shot not successful, but they had the man open for him. Exactly what they did. Drew the defense to them and then spread it across. But here comes the Blades finally on offense. And slid in there, not successfully, as Dave Lundeen came down. Reaching out for the puck, Cote.
Now he waved off the icing. He said James could have played it.
And Val goes back for it. Flip it out there and do something. But really not able to do much about it. Russians playing their men very well, by the way.
I'll say.
Going to make this game sound any more one-sided, but quite frankly, they're outplaying the Blades at this stage of the game, and have to call that. There's again, the slap shot from out this by Babinoff. Number 4, Babinoff has it again. He'll try again.
He keeps
firing away out there.
He keeps it up and hit the net one of his times.
Left-handed shot. Well, he's a defenseman. So the other way, finally come the Blades. Coming on down and finally going down to the ice. Unsuccessful. So it will go back. As Poland goes back.
Penalties are over.
Along with Cote. Both sides are back at full strength again. Scramble in front of the goal mouth.
Man open in the slot again. You see him, he was standing there all by himself for a second.
Into the corner. You don't see too much corner action so far in this first period anyway. Now the Blades trying to gather it together. But Michigan, who is probably wants to recognize the puck. He hasn't seen it in a while. He wants to see if they're still playing with the same type of puck he remembers.
Yeah, he had to say hello to all his teammates down this end.
Yeah, goalie's job sometimes.
Some people might wonder how good this team is. 15 of these players performed with the Soviets in last year's Challenge Cup Series with NHL, and they beat the NHL All-Stars. Many might not be aware of that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people came here not thinking they were going to see the first liners, but they certainly are seeing it.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Mike. I think they sort of suspicious. A little Erie getting guys like that. Well, they're out there, and they're showing why they're going to be favorites in the Olympics coming up next week. As they just bring that puck down, apply the pressure on. Another shot from out far. I'd like to see the shots on goal total.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly one-sided.
Certainly one-sided. Sliding it off, but a little too far this time. And the loose puck picked up out there by Jim Cowell. But coming back and making the play back there was Fedisov. Sliding it off as they go down the ice to Petrov. Good hard check on Katsanofov.
Amazed at the way they seem to be able to find the open man all the time. You know what the pass
always know where he is.
Yep.
Play excellent position hockey. As the scramble goes on. And Mikhailov, when he gets it out of there. Well, he's trying to get out of there into the ice. Flipped up in the air, loose puck.
Norm LaPointe held him in there again.
And Norm was equal to the occasion. Looked like that rebound sort of just Played like a basketball player that time. They're looking for it, and he had it all the way.
The Blades got caught coming out of their own end again, and the Russian jumped on the puck. And if it wasn't for Norm, I think we'd have a fourth one up there.
Almost as if they have radar on that puck, Mike. How do they find it? They're right there.
Years and years of practice and playing together, and boy, they did. They all know the system, and they're there. As I said to Bill a minute ago, they seem to know where that open man is at all times.
And you see, except for another face-off with Golikov, one of the two Golikovs. This is Vladimir Alexander.
New stick for Norm LaPointe there. That one must be wore out.
Yeah, when he's been shattering on the puck's been shattering it, I guess is the case. Drop it for the face-off, and a scramble in there. Dave Lundeen. Sort of a backhand slap just to get it out of there more than anything else. But the Russians once more on the puck and bringing it down. Trying to slide it off. Hit that open man in front of him.
Another souvenir.
Another souvenir.
Yeah.
See, the left wing broke across the net as his shot went, and he tried to deflect it into the net, but fortunately for the Blades, he tipped it over the net, in fact, into the stand. So that faceoff will come outside into the neutral zone now because he caused a stoppage in play.
So Golikov, who's been doing a lot of work at center out there tonight. They have four lines, but it would seem that this one has been doing most of the work. And off to Luchenko. Moving on down, sliding into that open in the area in the middle, but the time the puck got a little more loose.
There's a score, Bill.
There he fires it home. Just a loose puck for a moment, and that's all it took. Right on it. We're going to get another shot of that one. Their goals are so easy, they're almost deceptive.
Hey, look.
Here they come. Sliding it off to the left side. Bring it back in there.
They lost it there.
Oh, but they lost it there, and that's what happened. He banged it in there and just went by everybody. I think maybe Norm relaxed on that one. And we're back to live action with a 4-0 Soviet lead now.
I think we missed I think there was a rebound there that we missed on the replay. I'm not sure.
It's hard to see it there. Looked like just lost out there in front. But obviously.
Yeah, the Blades are getting a little ragged in trying to get out of their own zone. Of course, the Russians are helping them to be a little ragged because of their ability at controlling the puck.
Bevanov, I think, got credit for that goal. As we move down very close to the end of the first period.
This Monday night, February 11th at 9 p.m. we'll present doubleheader basketball, the women's and the men's game. The women's game first at 9, followed by the men's. Maryland, Westminster from the field house.
Face off, Zukov in there with Bruce Lynn.
Oh, missed. I thought it was in the net.
Not quite. Scrambling here at the closing moments of the first period.
Here's a break.
And here we come down the other way and sliding on in pit.
Good save.
Good save by that time. Michigan got his first real test of the night.
Yes, sir.
And he was right on it. As Cote winged in. We're just content to play it out now.
The Russian that time caught the puck on end and lifted it over the glass into the crowd.
You see Gulletson and Cote combined on the last exchange down there. And it could be exciting playing. But a lesson, and Nick Polano said beforehand, that in a lot of ways that's the way he looks on this game, as a lesson for his team.
Definitely.
Because quite realistically that this is a caliber of player that they don't see. They're looking at him right now, and they're coming back the other way. Put the pressure on for one more time.
Yeah,
but the Blades break it up. Come down the other way. Trying to come in is Brad Reines. And there it is, the end of the first period with the score of the Soviet national team, the Russian Olympic team 4, the Blades nothing.
And we'll return with the second period here from the Erie County Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, let's pause now for 60 seconds.
I would have to go along with that. I saw no sign of tickets or anyone outside. I certainly saw no one trying to disrupt it, and I've seen no disorderliness in the crowd at all.
No, not at all. I think it's going well.
It's been a good evening, and I think I have to say that as Steve Stockman faces off and with Vladimir Petrov. And we get set to go with the Russians leading 4-0. And very quickly bringing it down here into the same end of the ice where it always seems to be. That is right around the Erie net, and there's a shot from the wing.
Good save, Norm LaPointe.
As Fetisov fired away, coming on in. But
Stockman shot a little wide, but he skates pretty well, and he probably is one of the players that, because of his skating ability, fits right into a game like this.
Obviously, this is a game where you have to be able to move up and down. It is almost, it sometimes looks like a speed skater's race rather than anybody's hockey game, but at the same time, we pointed out that the Russians are quick to move that pass, move that puck around with the passes. They certainly don't waste any time handling that stick, too.
This is a classy team. Don't forget, this is a team that beat the NHL All-Stars in the Challenge Cup last year, and you know, it's no disgrace for the Blades to be down 4 goals to these people.
Absolutely not. Poland trying to do something out there and ridden off, and I think Danny getting a little angry right there. You can see that.
Danny was getting held up, but the official couldn't get a peek at it.
Starikov picks up the puck, slides it right over there. A little too far this time, though. And you see Norm out there trying to cut it off before anybody gets anything started and try to work it out if he can. A little action in by the boards. As the Blades will try to get it out of there into the ice. And do. Is coming down is Sylvain Cote.
Stockman again.
And in the middle, Stockman and Poland trying to join the act. Daniel's a defenseman who likes to rush, and you'll see him move up the ice a lot. But tonight it's not particularly a good game for a defenseman who likes to come down the ice because he hasn't had that opportunity.
He has to be a little protective in there too, because as we pointed out before, the Russians will break the man free in the center zone, so he's got to keep an eye on him too.
So Golikov brings out his line. And this has been the line that has been producing a great deal of the points there, facing off with Lundin. Coming down and just easing up on the puck. Vasilev. Sliding it on down to Makarov.
Nice move there.
Makarov collecting it. Quickly after it. Take it back and start it again.
They'll do that. They'll, if the things don't look right to them, they'll bring it back and, as you say, start it all over again, which a lot of teams won't do.
Yeah, a lot of teams go down there and simply try to force action and then freelance or do whatever you can down there and just try to improvise. They don't. They have a set system.
That's right.
They play almost chess-style hockey.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As I say, they'll take it right back, and everybody gets back where they're supposed to be, and they say we'll try it all over again.
That was reflected in their practice sessions we watched today, Bill.
Right, that precision.
Yeah.
And of course you got to remember, although this is a team of all-stars in a sense, it's comprised of players of the first division. They are all-stars that are not unfamiliar with each other as much as you see other teams where you have to be so much individual play. You see the
stick on that one, the stick splintered.
Splintered. You see some part of it lying there, the handle lying on the ice. The
Russians playing without a stick now.
Yeah, right. Dorney doesn't have time to get over and get the stick. As Lundin tries to ride him into the corner.
Now he took his stick from a forward. Now the forward is now playing without the stick.
There you see him trying to kick at it and moving on with Brad Reines.
And the rationale is there that the defenseman's going to need the stick in his defensive zone more than the forward will. So
right now you can see why.
Yep. Now he'll try to get over and pick up a stick. Yep. There goes the stick back. Now they passed it back again. And now Dornside's without a stick, and now he's in trouble.
They just continue to put the pressure on, and that time Golikov was bringing it in. And it's finally called down, and now at least going to have the proper number of sticks. There's a sort of a derisive cheer there. Going to get that, but they're changing lines at this moment. 4-0, the Russians. We are at the start of the second period, and it has been a Soviet game, as the score indicates. And actually, the score is probably not as indicative of what it could have been. Yuri Lebedev facing off with Brad Reines. And they're your defensemen who are always, it seems, back there, always on the puck, always ready to go. And dropping back that time was Katsanatov.
The long passes all night.
Yeah, they really are, a lot of them. As Lebedev goes into the corner, and trying to come over was Mark Jackson. Jackson's willing. Set them up. They'll skate so quickly by you. Coming through, though, this time, but not too far. Katsanatov quickly on the puck. Back out in the middle. Starikov. Polan and Jackson back there and just firing off the wing and coming down. It's Krutov. Polan banging into Fedosov. Coming down, Reines. But right back there with him is Katsanatov.
Nice move.
There it goes. There's that long pass, and they're trying to almost, Daniel trying to hook him almost as he trained by him. And a desperation. Jim Cowell comes up with the puck for the moment, but controlled and banged in there.
Good save.
Good save by Norm Lapointe as he's right on there. Another nice save. We're getting some great shots here.
Hit Poulin right in the head. Shot hit Poulin right in the head.
Oh, he went down. There's Daniel down on the ice.
I'm surprised if he's not cut. I'll be surprised because it looked like it hit him right in the forehead.
Lebedev had a couple of opportunities there.
It seems to be all right.
It's right on it. Daniel is right over the eye there. So one of the dangers of playing without a helmet. And you notice all the Russians, of course, wear helmets.
Right.
And that's international rules.
Right.
That Blades have the option, and a few of them.
He looks like he's got a cut in the forehead area over his eye, but
right.
I'm surprised he's not cut worse than that. He caught that square.
Apparently fired without too much force down there.
Yeah, it must be. It must have been rolling or hit him flat because it hit him square.
Think the day will come, Mike, when that'll be a general rule in U.S. hockey?
I think so. You see it in the youth now. You know, they're not only required to wear helmets, they wear face masks too. So it's going to come.
Petrov in the face-off, getting it down there. Starikov coming down for it. Back the other way, the Blades trying to gather it and take it down, but thrown down too far.
See Stockman skate after him. Now, as I say, he has good skating ability, and probably he's the type of player who could play with these with this type of team because he is such an exceptional skater.
Long-range shot failed there. Sheard trying to flip it back. Hamilton out there now. Number 5. Coming on down is Fedosov, number 2.
Another save, Lapointe.
So they fired it up there, and Starikov shot bouncing off as Lapointe is just racking up a heck of a lot of. Of course, he did not start the season as the Blades' regular goalie. Kerry Walker was that, and then Kerry was called up by the parent Colorado Rockies to their farm club at Fort Worth, and as a result, Norm inherited the job and has been doing a pretty good job for the Blades. Face off there with Petrov. Firing from the wing is Starikov.
The Russian defenseman took the slap shot from out at the right point there, and the puck became embedded on the mesh, so that stops play, and because the Russian shot it in without a deflection from the Blade player, it goes outside the zone.
Here in the second period, no scoring so far in this period. 4 goals for the Russians in the first, and that's the way it's been. And they continue to apply pressure here. And there you see Stockman's speed again as he came in.
Sheard made a nice move there.
Paul is a guy who loves to go in the corner and dig him out. And whistled down.
There we got an icing call against the Blades again, or against the Russians, I'm sorry.
That would seem to be the indication.
Yeah, that was a legitimate icing.
You're right there. That was international icing. So back up the other way. And they'll change the personnel while we're waiting. Lundin against Lutkov.
You're doing all right with those names, Bill.
I hope. Ron Hansis.
Hansis is a digger.
Yeah, he's digging well out down there. And a little exchange over there between Hansis and Babanov. A little wide. Yeah, digging over there again. Round the other way. As the Blades applied some pressure there. Ooh, it's again you see Norm Laporte in action. That's shot right squarely at him. They seem to depend on quickness a lot more than they do on faking or anything like that.
But you see it there again, they shot from the slot again. The man seems to be there all the time, and the Blade players don't seem to be able to pick him up, and that seems to be where all the damage is coming from.
So they continue to fire away in there and make Norm Laporte's night a long one. Changing lines here again. Once more, Golikov comes out.
Poulin is back on. He's got a bandage on his forehead.
So you might hear the cheer in the background of Poulin. Reines in there facing up with Golikov. Now finishes. There's Daniel with the puck coming on down. Whoops. Flipping it down there a little too far intended for Jim Cowell.
Got a delayed offside here now, but okay, the Blades brought it out, so they'll wave it off.
All right. Cowell trying to chase it down there. He's in the rate with Kosalatov. Little off balance, Cote. Long range.
Good shot by Daniel, a little wide.
Kind of shot you have to take when you're down 4-0 and you don't see the puck down at there.
Daniel's effective at that range, but he just missed the net that time. There's another score.
Another one.
Number 24. Makarov? How am I doing?
That's Makarov indeed.
That's the longest span of time in which they didn't score tonight.
I think so.
So let's not in there.
You'll see him just pick up the Soviet left winger. The pass is right there, and he just fires it into the zone.
Just comes on down. Fakes a fake there.
That pass over.
There's the open man. There it is.
Hit on the short side of Norm Lapointe to his right. His stick side.
Right, and Norm was caught a little bit in between there.
Just a little bit.
5-0 now. The Soviets lead their first goal of the second period.
No, that was a good chance.
Clark Hamilton. Makarov. Oh.
Mishkin.
It's it.
Number 25, Vladimir Golikov.
There it
and
is.
Number 23, Alexander Golikov. Time of the goal, 7:44.
Golikov gets the assist.
Both Golikovs.
Yeah, both Golikovs, as a matter of fact. The Soviets supply absolutely no personnel information on their team, but I believe these Golikovs are brothers.
Mrs. Golikov smiles again.
Yes. Two boys over here for the Olympics, and right now they're playing in Erie, and they are doing some playing. 5-0 the Russian team. They see Steve Stockman in there in the exchange with Sterikov.
Good opportunity. There's the open wide man again.
There he comes down, and skating down very quickly was Maltsov. Back the other way. Hamilton going to feed across. Cannot do so. Quickly down the other way, Maltsov. Pressure put on again.
Beautiful play, just missed clicking. Number 9 was just a little wide.
Said it's a chess piece game for them. They just set everything up. You'll see them come out there and just look for people there. Right there, they look for him again.
Good save.
I know, they put the pressure on. There was a couple of men in front of him there. Looked like for a moment he might be screened, but once more Lapointe to the ice, coming up with a puck. But he's down 5-0 as we come down about halfway through the first period, second period of play. And as a hockey game, it has been pretty much of an exercise in a training film.
They're certainly doing it the way the book says you're supposed to do it.
Halamov who is one of their favorite players in on the face-off there with Lundin. He has been relatively little used here in Makarov tonight, and I think really they have had an opportunity to see some of their younger players, and they have been performing admirably for them.
They certainly have. As mentioned before, this team that's in Erie tonight on Saturday afternoon, I believe, will play the United States Olympic team in an exhibition game at Madison Square Garden. So I'll be anxious to see how the score turns out there.
Petrov facing off with Lundin, and not a very successful one.
Hansis got offside on the face-off there. So.
Talking with Nick Polano on the phone today, and I asked him, Nick, do you think this could be termed the best team in the world? And he said, that's a pretty fair assessment. Very possible.
He's not going to argue with you right now, I'll tell you.
Norm LaPointe came up big again there.
Norm keeping his eye on that puck.
They had 21 shots, I believe, in the first period. I'm going to say they're going to have all of that in the second period.
Yeah, they continue to put the pressure on, and the fans have had very little to cheer about. A little moment like that when Polan gets in front of a pass and is able to deflect it and get off there, and it's about all that the fans have really had to cheer about. So, as I say, it's a lesson in how to play hockey, and I think that most of them are treating that way. That is, most of the fans are sitting back and saying, hey, these guys can skate, they can pass, they can shoot, they can do everything. We might as well watch them.
Michigan do
a little bit of a ballet there. They can leap and act like gazelles when they have to, too. Well, ballet has always been one of the Russians' finer art forms.
I don't know if they do it with goalie pads on.
I don't know.
With 10 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second period, I thought if they're going to play Tetriak, I thought it might be at about this point. They'll normally give each of them a half a game, but maybe that's not the game plan tonight.
Well, they were getting down to right about the point where they could do it if they wanted to. And while we have a little trouble with the tape on Lundin's stick, would seem to be the ideal moment to make the switch like that, but it doesn't seem to be any indication. Of course, they have a large squad, and as I said, they play 4 lines, and one of the things to consider is the fact that they're going to go into a very grueling schedule in the Olympics, and you're going to need all of those hockey players when you get into that kind of competition, almost on a day-to-day basis.
It may be that Tetriak's going to play the game against the United States Olympic team on Saturday.
It might be that. There's certainly nothing wrong with Michigan. He just doesn't have the opportunities tonight.
Nice save.
In there, another one going on. The point kicks it out. The Blades are right on it. And Jackson comes around. They can get something going here. But Kevin.
Well, they just keep circling. LaPointe came way out to challenge the shooter that time. Maybe a little too far out, but he got away with it.
Paul Scheer trying to break it up, and unsuccessfully. Getting around with Ron Hansis. Yes, back it goes to the defense. They'll set it up. Now, Nick Polano told me they were not going to try to follow the passes across ice, but I think some of their guys are forgetting that kind of instruction because I see them really going, cutting across, following the passes, and they're getting cut out of position.
Yeah, they're getting ragged in that area, no question.
You see them do that deliberately, of course. They'll just take you down and then the pass there, and then somebody will go over after the pass, and then next thing you know, the pass is back the other way.
That's exactly right. To the open man again.
Yeah. It's hard when you played a lot of hockey and then half a season in a particular system to suddenly in one game turn it around and say, well, okay, we're going to play totally different. I think they just force a habit. Says, I do this
especially against the world's best.
Right, right, when they're doing it so much faster than you're used to seeing. That is Luktov in there, number 22. And there's the Blades right now trying to move it down, but the puck goes the other way, and here come the Reds. Down they move through the crowd. Ridden off though. A little hard checking there, but they got the puck out of there. What happened? And sliding over there was Slotsov. And up on Maltsev. Slotsov.
I believe LaPointe got a piece of that again.
They get it out, and the Russians are on it.
There's a trip that the referee missed.
Right. I don't think the referees are. I got the point that this is such a clean game that really it gets a moment where you stop looking for it.
Another great save by Lapointe.
Lapointe, they're all scrambled in front of him. Loose puck. And over to collect. And out there for Reines. Trying to get loose. See if he can skate by him. Trying to do it now. Can he do it? He's over there trying to flip it in. And back it comes the other way.
Got the blades on a change there, but Jackson got back. There's a slot man.
Oh,
again.
there he comes. Loose puck, as you can see, right up there, hanging out there. Picked up.
Somebody got hurt. Dornside's hurt. He caught a stick from number 22.
And that's the first bruise that I've heard because Dave Dornside from C19 is down.
That wasn't the best play in the world on Zubtov, is that his name?
22 is Zubtov.
Yeah, I guess it looked to me like he hooked him in the face area. I don't know if something was going on before that, but
Mike Carone there is the guy, the trainer, checking things over, and you see the point with the face mask up as Mark Jackson skates in.
22, the fellow who, if that was intentional, who did the hooking in the face area was the same fellow who got tripped down on the other end before. He may have been retaliating for what happened down there, but that's a little dangerous with the sticks in the eye area.
So Dornsife, who's one of the few Americans on this team, up now. You notice the Blades tonight are wearing the American flag on their shoulders, their right shoulders. You can clearly see there. They plan to wear those flags as long as the hostages are in captivity in Iran. There you see the time and the score, and it has been all the Soviet team. And about the only thing you can say, the main, is that people who have come here wondering what kind of a team they're going to see say it's a good one. And
it certainly is a good one.
Those who came saying we expect to see a good team haven't been disappointed.
No, they haven't been disappointed at all.
So we have the face-off with Golikov. And Skote trying to get something. Cannot. Golikov.
Open man again.
Right up there, up the middle it comes, and sliding it off to the other Golikov. Loose puck. That's Alexander Golikov there. And
good save.
Good save again by Lapointe on Alexander Golikov. Skote flipping it over on the side to Cowell.
Ooh. Three-part collision there.
It was. But a strictly illegal one. Over there, Luchenka. Missing the target. In the middle is Makarov. He scored the last goal. Cowell flipping it out. Luchenka. Puck.
Another good hit by Jackson.
There. Lebedev, who's come in now, number 11. And they have such good personnel. They wear them down, too. That's another thing you'll see there. Jackson, Paulin, Daniel with the puck. Fans starting to chant they want a goal. That's only a few of them there chanting it. I'm sure most of them would be in ecstasy if the Blades could get one down to get that. There goes Paulin to the ice.
Another trip. The referee missed that one.
I don't see any signal.
Nope, there is none.
And they're firing it in.
No.
And again, boom.
Point lost it, but the whistle had blown already.
He had it for the moment, and then it went away. And if anybody had been on it, but the whistle was there. So Norm credited with another save.
Lapointe's liable to write a new movie script after tonight's action.
He'll sleep well, Paul.
Got a title for him. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming.
If people are wondering what CCCP stands for in the jerseys, that is the Russian language version of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR.
Dave Dornside's gone to the Blades dressing room. He probably cut from that hook that we referred to before.
So a couple of the Blades have gone down, and one now. Dornsife goes out. Paulin, of course, has been back on the ice. Clark Hamilton has moved out there again.
There's another souvenir, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people getting those home.
Well, quite a memento of an occasion that might never happen here again.
Lebedev. Stockman facing off. Scooting over on the side to Maltsev. Trying to get it through.
Man in the
Polan
slot
trying to
again.
stop him, banging it up in there. Polan out in front of the point, trying to knock it off. Good pass. Look at that passing. And Hamilton tries to beat them to it, but coming down is Vasilyev. He takes it down the other way. Polan just outmaneuvered at that particular moment, as you saw there, and Maltsev trying to flip it back in backhand style. There's Kapustin.
Another souvenir.
In there in the scramble.
Paul's point's well taken. You know, this being an Olympic year, the opportunity may well never present itself again, at least for the next 4 years, unless a traveling team would come here of some sort. But I don't think you'll see the national team that you're seeing tonight playing as a group in one city.
Rare opportunity. You saw the back of one of the Russian coaches, and I say one of them because they have 3 coaches. One handles the team on the ice, one handles the team off the ice, and the other one deals with the public and the media. So they all have their assignments. There's Mikhailov, who handles the puck.
Very well.
Flipping back there. Tsaratov. Pass comes on up. Mikhailov cutting it across to Harlamov. Now this is basically considered to be their front line, and we haven't seen too much of them tonight. There's Harlamov. And Mikhailov. 2/3 of that line. But down the other way. Sanatov going down to pick it up. And away we go. Out there with him on the line is Maltsev. Lundin trying to slide it over.
They're there again.
They'll do it. Sanatov up there with it. Knocked away. Is coming in, Ron Hansen's ridden off. Mikhailov.
There's a slot man.
Oh, just out there to, and there, through beautifully. And out the other way. Looks like beautiful passing, but no goal, the result. So they'll try it again. Harlamov was right in the right spot that time.
Another man in the slots. Yeah,
right up there, just hanging around there. Waiting for the moment. Loose puck. The way Hansen's over the collect. Sliding it out to get it out of there. And he does the expedient thing. A lot of pressure put on down there. 5-0. The Soviets are in front.
There's the breaking man. See the long pass?
Here they come.
And Polan got a stick on him.
Golikov, who's gone in there now. And the pressure continues to mount. The Golikov brothers are out there. And starting off the Cowell.
Good shot.
Jim Cowell trying it. Tsaratov gets it out, though. And there, Zubkov. Here we come the other way. And now the fans are getting something to cheer about. Cowell again. Banged away again by Mishkin. Back down the other way we go with Golikov. Firing and missing. And the point's right there on the spot.
Blades are tightening up, though, Michael, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Paul. They're, it's tough to react to the, you know, the constant motion of the Soviets, the speed and the precise passing, and they are definitely tightening up. Yes.
So here, as we move along in the third period, it's still 5-0, and Zubkov on the faceoff. Out there now with Starikov. And Get it back off with Sklotsov. Hamilton comes down and flips it. And Michigan goes to the ice on it.
The blade shots are all from long range or relatively bad angles. You can see the difference in play. They're not breaking that man or able to break that man into the slot area for the wide open shot as the Russians have been doing all night.
And they have had no opportunity for rebound shots at all tonight. There's just nobody really around the net at all, and the action is really from outside at the point or wherever, and no real opportunity to get some goal mouth scrimmages going. Coming down for the Soviets is Petrov. A good hard check that brings the crowd to the feet, and the shot whipped away. The difference, they just don't quit. They keep coming at you. Vasilyev on defense back there with the puck. Put it down. Golikov, Alexander Golikov. Firing.
Wide open.
Loose puck. Picked up. Put out there to Maltev. Val James. Steve Stockman. Notice the difference in the speed when Steve gets it. Steve trying to go all the way, and boom, down he goes as Katsanatov meets him. There's Katsanatov with the puck.
I don't believe it. They gave the puck up. You see that?
Yeah.
Actually threw a bad pass.
I know. That's about 1 of 3 tonight, I think.
I don't think there's been that many.
They have it back again. And there you have the end of the second period. And the score, the Russian Olympic team 5, the Erie Blades nothing.
And we'll return for the third period. Right now, let's pause for 60 seconds.
There's the announcement that Mark Evans has gone into goal. Now, he was signed by the Blades after Kerry Walker was called up, and he has been doing some goaltending for them, but LaPointe has taken over the #1 spot, as I mentioned earlier.
That was a fine shot by Daniel Poulin. Michigan came up with the save. Daniel looked like his old self there. He got a little room to skate and hit the blue line and let it fly. Good hard shot.
So they won't waste any time. They haven't been wasting any time, really, just haven't had the opportunities, but they'll do that. And Mike pointed out earlier, Daniel likes to shoot from outside, and in fact, he's right up there. He and Stan Gulletson are battling for the Blades scoring leader, have been all season long, and remember, Daniel's a defenseman.
Daniel, I guess, is 4th in the league in scoring, which is not bad credentials for a defenseman.
He's perhaps the most exciting player on the Blades, but he really tonight has had most of his work on the other end of the ice and just trying to cut these people off, and they're down there again. That's Golikov, number 23, and who hits the ice very decidedly. The Blades trying to work it out now. Come on and get something going here, and here they do. Coming through, Linus.
There's
good pressure applied there.
Probably Michigan's best save of the night.
Yeah, I think so. They had excellent pressure on him that time, and he went right down to the ice to stop it. Now coming in, there's Poulin again.
Another good save.
Yeah. Gauthier tried to get it, but that's the first time I've seen him around the goal mouth all night long,
too. That's the first sustained offensive thrust they've had. There's a slot man again.
Here he comes. Oh.
Pretty play right there.
I tell you, you talk about being out of position. Evans learned what it was all about very hurriedly, did he not?
He came out to challenge, and the Russian player just deked him and went right around and put it in the open net.
Okay, we'll see this again. Just a second here. So quickly how things change. The Blades had their first concerted rush of the night, their first goal mouth opportunity. The puck goes down the other way. Evans was badly faked out.
Gene Chantrell there.
Right, I don't see where action is resumed on the ice, but we are going to see a replay of all of this. And we're back live.
That's 24 is what? 4th goal? Yes.
So we're getting a chance to see Makarov's goal, and
goal by number 24, Sergei Makarov, his 4th goal of the night.
That's 4 for Makarov.
Assisting number 23, Alexander Golikov.
And Golikov again on the assist.
And number 7,
the icing call.
Alexei Kastonov. Technical 107.
Konstantinov got the other assist, and so that has been, as I pointed out, the productive line for this team. They really have gone out there and done the job, and they are not considered the production line for this team.
Fans will note there in that icing, another international and also a college rule, that the puck, when it passes the goal line on an icing call, doesn't have to be touched. The official blows the whistle as soon as it passes the over the goal line.
Lundin in there against Skolikov. And down goes Cote. Lundin on the puck. Trying to dig it around and get it in front of that net if they can. And once more, the Blades, for the moment, had an opportunity, but you see it going away, and you see the quick action down the other way as Balderas comes down. Starikov. Trying to get it out from way the net board. Cote trying to work it out. Cannot.
Good hard check.
Oh, good check that time. Dave Dornsyke, who was injured earlier. But here come the Russians. Pressure being put on Mark Evans, who just went in to play goal this period.
Good save there, buddy.
Yeah, Mark was equal to that one. Back down the other way. Coming back down. Vasilyev will start the play. On they go. Precision passing. There comes up there, and that was not a precise pass.
No.
They just say that, and they miss one. Coach trying to pick it up. Can't. Poland does. Slides it across. Jackson will put it back in. Hans is trying to get it out of there. Towel out there with him now. And the struggle goes on. Hans is able to work it across. Poland. But over there to dig it away from him is Maltsev. Cowell will come back the other way. Into the part is Plutov.
Too much passing there.
Yeah, they got a little. Sometimes you can overplay anything, and that's what they did at that particular instance there. Back down the other way, Vasilyev starts it back. Coming through the crowd. You notice when these guys get it, they aren't ridden off the puck all that much.
No, they're not at all.
And there come the Blades. Going to break away. Ronnie Hansen's for the moment. Paul Sheard out there with him. Hansen's digging for it, but the Soviets win the chase. Here's Poland down there trying to stop it. Is coming down as Makarov, the man who has 4 goals. Back out there once more. He's out there with Petrov. It's Petrov going after the puck. Picking it up. Coming down with it. Pretty.
Offside, the puck snuck back over the blue line, and he dragged it back in.
So he tried to get back. He was doing a lot of faking there, and faked once too often.
One more time.
So we'll come back and have a face-off. We are in the third period. The Russians enjoy a 6-0 lead, and when you were up 6-0, you enjoy it. Petrov facing off.
They haven't quit skating yet, though. They sure are.
No, they're still digging hard. Fatizov.
The credibility of the Blades too. They're still doing their best and skating.
Right. I think right now the Blades are in a position, quite frankly, but they would love to get it down there and they just don't want to be shut out in this game. They just absolutely want to get something going there. Val James trying to do that at the moment, but taken right away. And the maneuver. Almost in there is Skvortsov. Tries to put it back in for Zrukov. Now Petrov coming in on the puck, but the Blades have it.
Red Rhinus.
Just start it back the other way. And the whistle is eludes.
Bruce Lynn just got a little over the line ahead of Gulutzin, who had the puck. Consequently, the offside.
Got Bruce Lynn in there now, along with Brad Rydis. The Russians are busy changing. The Russians change just about every time. They don't really have their shifts have to serve too much ice
they
time
seem, as you said before, he's got 4 lines, so you know, he's got he can move them around pretty quick, and quick changes keep him
Luketov wins the face-off, slides it back to Luchenko. And I would take it away. For the moment by Cote, but back there, Palan trying to win it, cannot. Velikov slides it off. And
Daniel Palan trying to wind up.
Right, Daniel would love to skate end to end. You just have that feeling. That's a tough thing to do against this club. Coming through and down. That's about the thing you have to do right out there in the middle there, and Daniel did it expertly. There's some passing, and they just work it right down there expertly. Trying to write them off and do so.
There's no icing there. It deflected off the Soviet defenseman's stick.
They capture it. See it flipped out there. Maltsev gets it out. Coming through is Golikov. There, loose puck. Luketov after it. Down goes Cote. Back. Flipping it in there. Trying to get something going, but he'll come back out as Hamilton chases it, but he's too late. Back the other way very quickly. Krutov flips it up there.
Good save, Mark Evans.
Evans once again on the puck. As Krutov came in from the point.
I'm impressed with the way when the Russians are hit, they still seem to be able to maintain control of the puck. They don't get knocked off their skates very often, and just amazing the puck control they have.
Lebedev. Back the other way after it. Vasilyev. Off to Krutov. Flipped in on the side and trying to come around his north side. But unable, Lebedev instead will get it down the other way. There they go. Look at that passing as they move on in, and that's Krutov handling the puck. Just sliding it off. Trying to get it in dangerous territory, but the Blades are equal to that one. And
4 on 2
very
here.
nice. Yes, they had an opportunity, and let's see what they do with it.
Let's see what happens when you get a 4 on 2. Now we got a 3 on 1 the other way.
Right. Got too many people. Can't see that too many people down there and banging around with it. As Evans really had work there and gets the cheer from the crowd. And Lundin traps it against the boards.
Those Blades fans are hungry for a score, and if the Blades do, look out. I think they're going to be an uproar here.
We got 11 minutes, 43 seconds. I'd like to see them get one.
So a little over half of this final period left, and very obviously the decision was pretty well hammered out in the first period. Nobody in this arena, I really think. That was the attendance, and I didn't catch it. Was it 4,250?
4,250.
4,250, and that is just about, I don't know what the Blades record is, but that has to be very, very close to it.
That must be at, I don't think you could get many more people in here with a shoehorn. So.
Not for a hockey game. They can get more for basketball,
Yeah,
of course,
right.
because they can seat them up there farther, but hockey game, that's it. As they work out here, Makarov flips it back on the side. Exchanging the boards. Work it into the corner and get something out of there. Chance, but outmanned. Letting it off to the side.
Chance.
Batisov. Here comes another. So you make the most of this one. And Michigan just pulls it in.
There was the Blades' best opportunity of the night right
Absolutely. There. Paul Sheard right in front, and he was out there with Sylvain Cote, and it looked like that rebound. They were praying for the rebound, but Michigan just fell on the puck and smothered it.
You see those fans silhouetted in despair there. They were waving their arms.
Looking for the red light that never came on. Flipped in the air, and the Russians are right on it. Here they come. Good skating down the side. Ridden off the puck. Reaching in, Golikov. Daniel Polan has it. Run around, Makarov.
Oh, that's some shot.
I think that's going to be a guy you're going to hear a lot of during the Olympics. Lundin, Polan.
Ooh, Michigan broke it up. Ball sheared through it right across the crease. Brad Reines was standing there all by himself, but Michigan got the stick on it.
So they come down the other way. And now Shear trying to flip it out there and get something going here. And Michigan there again. He's getting a lot more pressure right now than he got.
He is.
In fact, he's got more than he got the entire game before, just in the last few minutes.
I'd like to again express our gratitude to General Manager Dave Gifford of WLKK Radio. They own exclusive broadcast rights for all Blades games, home and away. They're doing it live tonight, of course, for granting us permission.
And with just 1/2 of a period to go, Dave Dornsight chasing the puck over into the corner. Fired again. Coming out for the wing, Slutkov. Gonna work it in there. Trying to get something set up here is Skvovtsov. But he gets tangled up in there, double teamed by Polan and Ronnie Hansis. Trapped against the boards, and we're going to have the face-off. I haven't noticed anybody particularly getting up to leave. I think they're just going to sit and watch the pleasure of seeing a team like this skate rather than get up and take off and try to beat the traffic home. Kutchenkov loses control of it. Coming down in the exchange, but ridden off. It'll go back the other way. Golikov drops it off. Yeah, beauty pass.
I think Evans got a skate.
Evans was able to get out there and somehow get it away. And it looked like he had a man breathing in his throat at the moment. Here comes
Another
more
break.
pressure. Let's see the faking, and there you see just about as much faking as you could see, and there's just absolutely nothing he can do with that.
The Blades lost the puck coming out of their zone again, and a Russian player just took it in on the right side, cut it in the middle, and Mark Evans had no chance.
That was Helmut Banderas, and Banderas is a player that Mike and I were laughing about beforehand. Sounds like somehow his father might have decided to stay there after the war, and he was brought in by someone else. But you see the fake, and then the shot. And beautiful action that time. Picked it up, and Banderas rode in there, and it's now 7-0. And there you see the time. So Banderas gets his first goal, and that's an unassisted goal, they say.
Yeah,
and it looked that way too, didn't it? Right. Now I guarantee you, if this were a North American hockey team, there'd be two guys skating over there any minute now saying they had assists on that, including the goaltender. But I'm sure the Soviets take what points they give to them right there. And I don't know if they have anything like a contract with a goal incentive in it.
Yep, there's another steal.
All right. As Lebedev getting hooked up with Polan. Back the other way. They've got people out there.
Like a machine.
But right through. Here comes Stockman. Stockman goes down. And it's put out the other way as Vashilev. And that was a clean play all the way.
Yeah, there was no penalty there.
Yep. Maltsev applying the pressure there as he comes down with Kutov.
Blades gave it away again.
Slam it in there, Lebedev.
Good save.
And again,
maybe two good saves.
Evans was really working. Now the Blades coming back the other way, 2-on-3. Hamilton. No, that's Lundin.
You can't pass it with the puck.
No, right. Do it any way you can. Kyle tries for it. He can't get it. Polan slides it back up there. I'll say that was Jackson back there on defense. Back the other way they come. And that's been so typical of the night's action. Trying to set it up.
Very good save.
Yes, once again, Evans is there.
Yeah, they're down 2 goals to nothing here in the third period, right? Other than a couple of lapses trying to get the puck out of their own zone, I really think the Blades are playing a little better hockey this period.
They are. I think they've gotten over, probably had some awe this
Oh,
game.
no question.
And Kutsov was right on him. And Evans came in there, and frankly, on the first goal, he was probably not warmed up, a little bewildered, and suddenly he was on the ice, and the puck was by him. Then on the other one,
pretty good though.
Yeah, right.
You know, it was him against the shooter too, so you can't fault him too much.
No.
And Makarov, he's got 4 goals tonight.
Yes, he does.
He may be in the running for the star of the game.
You think?
A little grab there. Right there, the referee caught him.
Shove there.
Yeah. Holding penalty, I think, number 7.
That's Kaselatov.
You could probably see on the monitor there, he didn't think that the referee saw him because the referee was behind him and he thought he was shielding him with his back, but he caught him that time. They're cute, too.
So he'll sit down for a couple of minutes, and this is one of the rare penalties we have tonight. In fact, I cannot recall a game here that I have seen with so few penalties.
I think
Mike,
right
I know you've seen a lot of them too here, and it's rare indeed that we go through this far into a game with these few penalties.
Been no, you know, other than maybe my comment about the hook on Dornsife there, it's been a relatively clean game. I feel a good game.
So Katanatov sits down for 2, and the Blades are getting probably their best opportunity tonight because they have now the power line out there and a chance to catch him short-handed for 2 minutes, and Polan will try to set it up. You see the rushing coming down there as Reines comes in with it. They're trying to be a bit more deliberate now. I think they sense this is clearly going to be the opportunity, and they would like to work it in there if they can. The Soviets, you don't hear much about their penalty-killing ability, but they have demonstrated it on the couple of occasions that they've had to here tonight.
They play so well defensively. I guess they're all good penalty killers.
They just flip it away. So Gulutzin trying to work it out there. Coming in, Reines taken away from him. Beautiful.
And a break.
Yeah, right, absolutely. 1-on-1. Let's see what happens. Down. Flip.
Another good save.
Oh, Evans
two good
reaching for that. He's out of the net, but he's reaching beautifully.
I think he got the second one with the glove, Bill.
Yeah, I think he just had his tip on it. Zhukov came right in on him 1-on-1. And he played that about as well as you could.
He certainly did.
So Luchenko getting it out. But the point is, the Blades caught him short-handed during that time, and the action went down the other way.
Yeah, the Russians almost had a short-handed goal there, no question.
So here they come. Trying to work it down. Backlund flips it off. Oh, Ishkin goes to the ice, and the puck goes away. Still in there in play.
Look out, it's over our way.
Yeah. Good attempt. We are located, by the way. You can see that way up in the corner. Those distant figures up there in the center of your screen up in the corner, that's where we are tonight.
Call this the porch.
Yeah, right. This is the porch, and we aren't in Wattsburg, but we're well on our way. But we're glad to have the opportunity to be here at all.
Just caught a glimpse of Super Blade, the Blades mascot, walking through the audience. I'll ice it again.
Hey, just flipping it out there, and of course,
they're comfortable with a 7-0 lead.
They don't have to worry much about it. Say, really, the only question now is whether the Blades can get the puck in the net before the end of this game.
Well, they got 4:42 to do it. So.
Oops.
Oh.
The other way, and just like that, Maltsev comes down 1-on-1, and that time.
That was not a short-handed goal. The penalty
not at all.
Just ended, but it could have almost been counted as one because he was on his way just as the penalty expired.
There it is.
Well, see, the penalty was going to expire in a moment, but the long pass is what did it. And then you see Maltsev just skating right by the defenseman.
Put it right through the legs. He put it right through Mark Evans' legs.
Yeah, right. And Jackson was late getting over there.
Yes, he was.
So it is 8-0, and I think that this is sending a few people to the exits now, and I don't think they really thought it was going to be this bad. They've seen the Blades win so many games.
Right. Well,
even though they knew that they were decided underdogs, I think people are a little shocked that they are that much better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're much better. No question about that.
Yuri Lebedov, time of the goal, 15.
Lebedov gets the assist on that goal. And now the action getting a bit more frenetic as Cote tangles over there, and he's trying to get it out in front of that net, do some damage there, see if they can do it, but they flip it over a little too far to the side. Back the other way we go, lead pass.
Another break.
Another try. Knocked away. That time almost a replica as Krutov came in there, but that little happy
good
result
hard
for Evans.
Shot by Clark Hamilton.
Right, he slammed that one home there, but Michigan was able to kick it out.
Another good save.
Another save.
Up, it got tipped in the net, though. I think it might have went in off a Blade player. Maybe
it might have. I didn't see a Russian near it.
I think
and it was just a free. And of course, Evans was a little off balance as he came out of there trying to flip that one out. And we'll get a replay on it. Let's see.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see it going off L. James trying to come back to protect.
We'll catch that in a moment. Once more, they are able to get that, take that quick pass to get it down there and set up the situation. Coming down, flipping.
Looks like L. James.
I think it was. Just reaching for it and just bounce off his stick and into the net before you know it.
That happens. It deflects off the goaltender and hits the defenseman's body or stick and just deflects into the zone or into the net.
Number 10, Alexander Maltsev. Time of the goal,
Lenikov gets the goal.
16-25.
Lutkov on the assist. Maltsev also on the assist. So it is 9-0, and more people are starting to get up to leave.
I wonder if they can get out of the parking lot.
Well, there's going to be a jam getting out of here. Certainly, people who came out to see a good hockey game have seen, not really in the sense of a good game, but they have seen good hockey, if we can put it that way.
Blades might be getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, they are. They're doing some things there. See, the sticks are coming up a little high now, and I think you saw one right there. Bruce Lynn reaching up. There you see the time remaining, just 2:47 left to play, and a 9-0 lead, which in hockey is
a lot of goals.
A lot.
Yeah, you saw kind of a rough game here, but fans who are not familiar with international hockey will be happy to see something that you don't see in the professional leagues. That the game's over, you'll see the teams line up and all shake hands before they go to the respective dressing rooms.
Right. Milan trying to get it out of there. Here they come again. They haven't quit skating either, have they? Faking the shot.
There's 24 again. He's going for number 5.
Right.
Mark Evans.
Right.
Got him there. It's Sergei Makarov.
Yeah, Makarov, who has the hat trick +1.
Almost had number 5.
Down the other way is Lutkov. He tries to skate by some people. Flip it up there.
Another good save.
Yeah, Evans has been working well in this last period here. Been besieged, been giving up goals, but like Lapointe before him, he is also interspersed with those goals some spectacular play. And get something of an ovation from the fans here. Most of whom have spent most of the game. Really, they haven't had that much to cheer about. There's some oohs and ahs, but not a lot of cheering. Here they come. This might be the last hurrah here. Cote trying to slide it out there, but they can't do it. So the Russians take control and back the other way.
They'll steal your blind, won't they?
That's a machine, Paul.
That's right. Kick your pockets on the way down. Skvotsov trying to come in on
check. Coming down on 1 minute left.
Coming down to that final minute and a 9-0 game, and Blades trying to get one last rush on before the game expires. And here they come. Hansis.
There's the 1 minute now.
And there's the shot. And Close, but not in there. Ronnie Hansis tries to collect it. Cannot. It's slid over to him again, though. He can get it out of there. Just flips it in there, hoping to get something, plant somebody in front of that net and flip it out of there if they can. Clock counting down. Blades trying to put the pressure on. Working out in front. Stockman can't get it. And so the Soviets take it the other way. Moving in for that last time, Petrov.
Put it right in Mark's pads that time.
Play whistled down, and we just got a couple of ticks of the clock left. So we're about to see the end of what has been for many one of the more memorable sporting events ever held in Erie, in the sense as you see the final seconds there, 22 in all.
I'd have to say Hockey Spectacular has been a big success here in Erie.
Certainly drew the fans out, over 4,000 people showing up here tonight, and the Russian team, I think, better than people expected them to be.
Very definitely.
Lebedev facing off. Let's see, we have one last try. Lebedev tries to
15 seconds left.
They're just working it around. Don't quit. And again, Evans is there as they keep working as if they're counting down. Just a few seconds left, and there it is. And the final score: the Soviet national team, the Russian Olympic team 9, and the Blades, the home side 0.
Any final observations, Michael?
Just a super Russian team, just so powerful and so precise, and just a real joy to watch. Blades did themselves well. Too bad they couldn't have got one on the board, but I thought overall they played pretty well, particularly with the goaltenders.
Thanks, Mike. Before wrapping it up again, we repeat thanks to WLKK, its General Manager Dave Gifford, for granting us broadcast rights for tonight's contest, and to Nick Polano, General Manager and Coach of the Blades, along with John Paul Della Camera, the voice of the Blades and the communications director. He decked out tonight in sartorial splendor. He looked like a million. So until this Saturday, when we'll air Lehigh versus Springfield wrestling, that's Saturday, February 9th at 11. And then come Monday, February 11th at 9 p.m., doubleheader basketball, the women's and the men's game, Barron versus Westminster at the Erie County Fieldhouse. The final score again, the Soviet National Olympic Team 9, the Erie Blades nothing. Your producer for tonight's Blades and Russian National Olympic team, yours truly, Paul Brown. Play-by-play, of course, by Bill Shelley. Mike Geary, former player and official, offered some observations. Director Gary Reinbold. On the cameras, Greg Dahlstrand, Paul Reese, and Mike Snow. Unit manager Joyce Lutz. Technical director Dan Swackhammer. Production assistant Joe Michkowski. Technical supervisor Dave McIntyre. Taping by Porter Kendall. The audio, Ed Portzline. So, until our next sportscast this Monday, doubleheader basketball at 9 o'clock, Paul Brown from the Erie County Fieldhouse. So long for now.